today I am making some stuff kind of similar probably to this piece here. That's polymer clay that we're going to be working with. And we may have a really pretty flash if I can get it to catch the light. Ooh, there it is. It's pretty, I promise. But I'm going to be making some components for our dragon head here. So this one isn't even really set on there, but this will be one of the components that like goes probably here. And then I have some ammonites that I'm going to be putting some clay around as well. Now this is something that if you watched our overview video, look at how pretty those ammonites are. If you watched the overview video that we posted yesterday on the making of our dragon heads, this is one of the steps that I was talking about that I like to do the finer details of things with the polymer clay and then bake it and adhere it on with the freeform air later. That way I'm not having to get that fine detailing. To me, that's fine detailing at least. With the freeform air, because that would be a nightmare. Like, freeform air like pushes into a mold well, but it doesn't really, it doesn't like sculpt like really fine and like it's very very soft and like squishy. It's like trying to it's like trying to sculpt with a mousse. Not like a mousse, but like something very fluffy. So I hope that makes sense. It is cold and windy. Like it's like there's a storm blowing in today. So wherever you guys are, I hope that you are doing well, and cheers. Thank you for joining me here today. Well, hey Barbie, happy Friday. Hey Marjorie, how are you doing today? We are just getting, let me see if I can get this update. There we go. There we go. Excuse me. It won't let me do what?
Out of your chatters.
All right, Randy, we're going to do like how we talked about. And I'm going to hand this to you. And for some reason, it said it's charging, but it's draining faster than what it's charging. I've been sneezing and coughing all day, so I don't know what's up with me. Hey, Elizabeth, how are you doing today? Hi, I'm a polymer clay artist, and I'm glad you found the medium and are enjoying it. Oh, I love polymer clay. And let me go ahead and I can show y'all, because we've got our whole sculpting station here. So I actually worked in polymer clay for quite a while, but you know, I also do like leather working and resin casting and all sorts of stuff. But we went through and I completely reorganized all of my polymer clay drawers and everything. So I'm really excited to be getting back to it. So yeah, so for this dragon, I think I'm going to have one of them's going to have this labradorite there on the front center, because this one's quite pretty. So I'm going to want to make a bezel for this one. And then another, or I could do this one here. And again, I'm having a hard time getting the flash captured there on camera. But it's there, I promise. Like I can see it's real pretty. It's mostly over on this side. So we're going to be doing both of these, and then we are going to be doing 2 sets, so a total of 4 ammonites. So we're just going to be hanging out here like this. If y'all have any questions, holler at me. If you have any advice, holler at me. So that's really cool to hear. What kind of stuff do you make out of polymer clay? I used to have a pasta machine for thinning out my clay, but out of lots of moving, I've misplaced it. Oh no. Yeah, pasta machines have really come a long way since we first got into it. So like, I don't know if you can see here, down here, we've got hey, baby. Oh, you're the greatest. Thank you. Randy's got me all set up with the comments now, so I can read everybody's comments. All right, so I'm going to set this off to the side. And I think I'm going to be using, well, these are just sitting there empty. Dude, y'all. For those of you who came and hung out yesterday in our Kick live stream, these are how the dreads came out after they went through the dryer. So they got way shorter, like by about 6 inches overall. And they got a lot thicker, which I don't mind. It's not what I had originally planned, but that's okay. These things never go as planned, and that's all right. But so next time, which there will always be a next time, I'm going to make them thinner and a little longer and see how they bake down, I guess, in the dryer. But I just like having I love actually having a whole stash of different ready-made wool felted dreadlocks to choose from for being like the main down the back of our dragon heads. Like I love them. And honestly, I love these short, thick ones. Like, I'd do multiple colors and stuff if it were for me personally, but I think they'll look really good blended together with these two color tones mixed together. But yeah, we were able to get all of them done, and we were able to get done before it was like 6:05. I'm going to be honest. Whenever we were pulling them out of the boiled water to dunk in the sink to cool them down so we could squeeze them out so we could pop them into the dryer. But done's done. Okay. So I'm just going to get... But yeah, that's so short. So short. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, hey Lydia, how's it going? Ooh, Elizabeth says I like making jewelry. Nice. Ooh, I'm too late. Oh, well, hey Lydia, my camera causing my phone overheating. Oh no. Then bought a new phone. Wasn't to be locked and it was waiting for my oh my gosh. Oh, Lydia, that sounds like such a mess to have to deal with. I'm so sorry you're going through that. Well, hey Patty, how's it going? But yeah, so just getting... So really, I think this one's a good thickness. Like, that's as thick as I would want to make, but that's okay. I know I said we're going to be working with polymer clay, but if I don't get these tidied, I am going to go nuts. What? Patty says, just got back from setting up for Hippie Fest and now putting together all the stuff for tomorrow. Ooh, was that your post that I saw that was with all of those very cool hula hoops? Like, Patty, are you with Wizarding Arts? Or am I getting my wires crossed? Which tends to happen. This one, I like this color. It's all like, it's, the dye lot said it was coffee tone. And I'm like, that's not coffee tone. That's okay though. There we go. Now we can set this down. Gonna go down here. I usually try to tidy up my work surface, but prior to the streams, but better late than never. All right. And now I'm gonna do, this is probably terrible, but I need to get some of the flavor off of this granite slab. Oh, Patty, that's so cool. I hope y'all have a fantastic time at Hippie Fest. What state is that in? I want to go to Hippie Fest. Those hoops are so pretty, though. I love the colors of the tape that y'all used. There we go. Just the less crud I have stuck to this stone, the less crud we're going to be getting stuck in our work. There we go. Well, hey Raj, how's it going? Sounds cool, Hippie Fest, right? Salisbury, North Carolina, 2 days and tons of fun. Nice. Hey Aisha, how's it going? So today I'm going to be using, let's see. So the way that I did, okay, let's go over how I have my clay organized. Here to start with, how did we, this seemed a pretty good angle. So we have our pearls and metallics here across the top. Let me get that cord out of the way. And here's Marcellus Wallace. Boop, boop. Here to save the day. My little glowworm friend. But yeah, we've got our pearls and metallics across the top. And then it just goes from like red through the yellows, through the browns, into the pinks, into the purples, pinks and purples, into the greens, and then into the blues. And then I've got like glow down this way. So let's see. That's just a nice brown. And I think I'm going to utilize all this scrap that we've got going on here. Double checking one last time to make sure we are actually charging. There we go. Hey Khalidi, how's it going? But yeah, so we'll have here on the pasta machine. Just, it's older clay, so I'm trying to like squish it together a little bit to keep it from crumbling. Hey Sarah, how are you doing today? And once it gets warmed up and once we get it passed through the pasta machine a little bit, it's going to be a good time. It's just getting it there. Now I do have my pasta machine on the thickest setting. Oh, this thing is a dirty. I gotta sweep my work surface. And we've had the windows open with the cooler weather before it got genuinely, well, it's not genuinely cold yet, but I've got 2 sweaters on, so it's getting colder for sure. But pollen gets in on just everything. Tennis says, is it cold there? Yeah, I'm thinking we might turn on the heater. Not during the live stream, but it's like, what is it? It's only like 50 something degrees, so it's okay, but cold enough that we shut the windows back. And we've got the crock pot going with some beef stew, and we're gonna bake some out of the freezer rolls after the stream. So I'm just gonna get this folded and rolled it through. Wow. He just looks like he's like a little gingerbread cookie. Hey Saki girl, how's it going? Ooh, Gamnut says, hey Gamnut, may I ask why you are recording in portrait mode and not landscape? Because I am desperately trying to get the YouTube algorithm to show our videos to literally anyone. And whenever we stream in the horizontal, people don't get notifications. That was the feedback that we were getting. Whereas here, whenever we're in vertical, a lot of the times people who've been following the channel will stumble across that we're like, people who actively subscribed, like they fully meant to subscribe, won't see our videos until we go live like this, and they'll see us like in their shorts feed or something. So shout out to just a question to our lurkers. If you found us through the YouTube shorts feed, like, I don't know, drop an emoji or something. I'm not going to make you participate if you don't want to, but just trying to get an idea of the feedback. And so of like whether YouTube's actually showing our content to people or not. So it's ooh, Elizabeth says, I used to add baby oil in clay that was too hard. Now that's a good idea. Did you ever have any issues with like if you added too much? Oh, the dreads came out great. So you can actually see them. We got them all. Like both colors completely done. Just here like that. And so they're fully processed and ready to go for whenever we start sculpting on a dragon head. So, but yeah, I hope that that makes sense to you, Gumnut. Gut says, oh, okay, I've noticed a few creators doing this lately. Is it the same for pre-recorded videos? I have no idea. I still do my pre-recorded videos in the horizontal format just because usually I'm like teaching something there. But here, this is just one of our live streams. We're just hanging out. More often than not, whenever folks are watching our live streams, they're also crafting and not like, you know, not eyes on nearly as much. So I don't know, just trying different things. So now that we've got, I know my clay is getting conditioned well whenever I fold it in half like that, and we don't have any cracking there along that fold. And I'm just going to keep folding and passing through. Looking pretty good. And then here I've got some scrap gold. Ooh, yes, yummy crackpot food. Yeah, anytime, Gamna. And really, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just here having fun. I had free membership and supposed to be until the 28th. Don't see anyone that... Or is that the other channel? I'm not certain what you're talking about, Lydia. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, no, we need to turn the heater on before it gets genuinely cold. That way, if we have any issues with the heater, we know before we need it. So this is some really old crumbly clay, but that's okay. I'm just gonna heat it up in my hands. Elizabeth says, yes, only a few drops of oil at a time. Gotcha. Because I've been using the same like dingy bottle of polymer clay conditioner since for like a decade, like at least. Though to be honest, I'm not entirely certain where that is right now. Just getting it rolled down a little, and you can see, I mean, that is like super crumbly. That's okay. I'm gonna condition it in. And I've got like a little blend here of, I don't even know what clay this was. But that's all right. We can use these things up. Ooh, giving it a good squish. I think this was actually a blend. Oh, it's really sticking to my roller. Of black and gold. And I just loved that metallic look that it got. Elizabeth says, I haven't, oops, where'd my chat go? I haven't worked with this clay in a long time. Gotcha. At least your roller is clean, right? Or was. So oftentimes whenever I am conditioning my clay, I'll just go ahead and put in some that's a little bit softer and just blend them together. And I just want to get this conditioned so that I can feed it into my extruder so that I can then extrude it so that we can braid it. And look at that. It's like a pastry dough. It's having such little adhesion, but that's okay. Hopefully. Or it won't be. We'll find out. Just rubbing any excess clay off of the roller. And so we've just got this going on now. How much do they charge for the conditioner? Oh, I don't know. probably way more than baby oil, and quite frankly, it might just be repackaged baby oil. But I liked that it was in a little bottle. Look at the colors, though. I love that. I mean, I'm just going to fold it right back up and in, but mixing the clay is so much fun. Like, I love that. And then we're just going to fold it again, pass it through the pasta machine. Passing it through the pasta machine, we're starting to get very little bit of the gold showing through. So I'm actually going to fold it this way just to get those crumbly corners under control. I'm not doing any sort of skin or blend or anything right now, so it doesn't matter which way we fold it. I just try to make sure to put it in fold first. And I don't, oh, it's starting to show through. Do you see? It's about to get really interesting, or not. We'll see. Some interesting patterns coming through with that gold, that metallic gold. I'm actually, because it's getting kind of flaky and it doesn't want to adhere to itself, I'm going to roll it just here on my work surface, and then I'm just going to condition and massage it with my hands a little bit. Just kind of squishing all that together. I just want to make sure it's getting good adhesion. I mean, it doesn't gotta be anything pretty. This is literally just a slightly shiny turd right now. Ooh, hey Kelly, she says, I just started watching. What are you planning on doing with the clay? I'm going to be making this style of setting where it's braided and it's got a gemstone in it. But I'm gonna be making that for around this labradorite. We caught the flash a little bit. Did you see that? I told you it was real. Or was that on this one that we couldn't get the flash to catch? Did you see that? Oh, that's gonna look cool. And then as well as these ammonites. And then used baby oil. I still have like 4 toaster ovens for polymer clay. Nice. I wish I had the space for toaster ovens, but we just have the, we just use our regular oven, but it works out okay. Okay, so we've got that all squished, and I'm gonna try rolling it so that we can feed it back through the pasta machine. But you can see that starts to get some really nice, I don't know, it's just fun. It's got that nice metallic sheen to it now. And this was just like brown clay and some scrap gold. Now, lately, if you've been, I love that like wood grain-ish pattern that's happening right there. Absolutely love it. If you've been following my more recent work in the past couple of, I don't know, months or years, but the past couple of projects that I've done, I've been using Cos clay, which is a rubberized polymer clay. And it's wonderful for like whenever I do little mushroom stems and stuff and I don't want them to break. But it's a very, very sticky clay when I'm working with it. So today I'm using Sculpey Primo, which I love for getting finer details. Just something that I like, that I can really work with it and it's still very stiff. Just cranking it on through. Crank. Crank. Okay. Very, very pleased with that. And you saw how much of a crumbly mess that block of gold started out as. Yep. Grown-ups getting to play with clay. I still remember the very first time I played with polymer clay, because like as a kid I wasn't allowed to mix my colors with the Play-Doh because then we'd just have one homogenized block of like kind of purpley brown Play-Doh. All I ever wanted to do was mix my colors, and so whenever I started playing with polymer clay, I called my mom and I was like, I'm mixing my colors and you can't stop me, blah, and like hung up on her. Which she was not cool with, but we survived. So there's that one. I'm gonna mix them. I'm gonna mix them. So there's something we can do actually that might be pretty fun, where we can cut out little circles from these and we can stack those and put them into our extruder. I'm just gonna make some for today though, because I just, not to be like, I gotta get to work, but I gotta get to work. I've been spending like 30 minutes just having fun folding and rolling my clay, and I've gotten nothing made, but that's all right. So Randy and I spent this morning preparing our shop update. So we actually just added some new handmade jewelry to the website, and I'm going to be adding more jewelry to the website over the entirety of the weekend leading up to our Monday shop update and giveaway video. So if you haven't left a comment on last week's shop update video, be sure to do that. That way you put your name in the hat for our giveaway. Oh, this is like butter. It is so luxuriant. I'm very pleased with this so far. I gotta clean my roller. Shame on me. Oh no, it's okay. You know, it'll be fine. And so this just lightened it up just a little bit into a nice bronze. So I hope that this will be perfect for what we're about to do. I'm certainly happy with the level of metallic that's going on here. Well, hey Kelly, how's it going? Woo! Tenna says, hey Tenna, says, I would worry that baby oil might interfere with the baking process and keep the clay from hardening. Oh, goodness. Does anybody have any experience to speak to that? Because that's a good concern. Lydia says, I'm hunting for my pasta machine. I have the motor, no machine. Oh no. Well, hey Jishna, how's it going? Or just Shane. I'm so bad at saying names. I'm so sorry. Okay, so I'm just reducing this down so that we can put it into our extruder. Which, I love my extruder. I don't need to be unscrewing that end. I need to unscrew this end. There we go. Now this is a Walnut Hollow brand clay extruder. I have not been able to find them on the market in a long time. If I had to repurchase an extruder, I'd be devastated because I don't know which one I'd want to get, but I certainly wouldn't want just one of those plunger back style ones. Which what I mean by that is this is the plunger. It's got monster clay in it, but you just like push and it hurts my hand so bad. I don't mind using it so much for the monster clay, but I do usually use my feet to like press down on it, whereas this crank extruder is so nice. So, okay, that's right. We gotta uncrank is a cranky part. Well, thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome to the channel. We do new shop updates every Monday, new tutorials at least every Thursday, shorts like all throughout the week if I can manage it, and then we do live streams here together, craft room hangouts on Friday. So Hey, Rosalie. Hey, Angela. I love extruded for ropes and snakes. Yes. Now you could, if you don't have one of these extruders, you could totally, I'm just going to take a pinch here, get you a little bit of clay started, roll it out with your hands, and then very carefully roll out, trying to get the same thickness all the way down. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I'll tell you what, on these braids, it helps when it all looks the same. So this is a snake. This is what we're going to be making with the extruder. So I'm going to set that one off to the side. Whenever you want to make your log thinner, just pull your fingers apart as you roll. If you want to make, like, just to demonstrate that to the extreme, I'm applying downward pressure and then bringing my hands apart. I guess I didn't get enough of that motion yesterday when I was doing the dreadlocks that we've got over here. But whenever you want your log to be thicker, that same downward pressure, but it's bringing my fingertips closer together. And you can really, I mean, you don't want to do too much because then it's going to get a buckle in it like that. Call me Krista. Right on. I'll do my best. I'm also don't have the best memory for names. I'm sorry. But how are you doing today, Krista? But yeah, so you can see you can really do a lot just by knowing how to apply some pressure. So I'm going to fill this up. Just using my finger to rub the edge off there. And I'm using, it looks like a 2mm hole here on this. I'm putting that plate on there, and then we're going to put the little screw cap on. Hey Elizabeth, how are you doing today? Khalidi says, I got my walnut hollow extruder many years ago at Hobby Lobby. Don't know if they still sell it. You know, that might have been where we got ours, was at the Hobby Lobby, but I love it. And y'all, this is my favorite part. Now we just gotta like crank it a bunch. But it's about to start coming out the end. All right, do you see? All right, and then, ooh, you just gotta keep cranking it. And look at that, like angel hair spaghetti. Oh wow, well right on, Rosalie. She says you're the first person to say my name correctly the first time. Thank you for that. Been following you for a long time, haven't been able to catch many lives. Your work is amazing. Oh, well thank you so much. Thank you for being here. But do you see? So I mean, we get to choose our work. We either get to be real careful and roll it out by hand and try to get it to all be even, or we can wrestle with our crank thing. Elizabeth says, totally new to this craft. Very interesting. I'm going to recommend the Polymer clay tutor here on YouTube because she actually knows what she's doing. I'm just a craft gremlin bumping around in my craft room making some noodles. No, but it's going to be awesome. Okay, and as it heats up, it does get a little easier. I need like stronger hands. Jesus. All right. So once we finish extruding the whole batch, because I don't like to leave my crank loaded, like I want to leave it on empty. Fun extrusion, yes. Yee. Satisfying. So now we have all of these beautiful little threads that I'm just going to pinch off. Ta-da! Art. And now we're gonna braid it. Now I've got a cannonball set in a little bangle bracelet. So this is what we're making. This one I actually wanted to make a polymer clay groovy cab, so we put a little indent in there on the edge, which I really like. But I'm going to show you how to make the braided edge there. I'm 11 years old fan. Oh, wow. Are you in UK? Nah, I live in southwestern Missouri in the United States. Almost looks like earthy wood seaweed. Ooh, hey, Leaf. Leaf says, do you have a vise that might help? That's a really good idea. I have a vise somewhere, but we've just finished, so I'm not gonna worry about that too much right this second. But so what I'm gonna do is we want to pull a noodle. Like, first off, never in my life have I hand rolled clay this even. And you can see we've got like a little break right there starting. That's okay. But so that's hand rolled right here versus extruded. So I mean, I got pretty close, but I'm going to take just one of these. We can, in knowing how to hand roll, I think is very helpful because now I can patch up any little like cracks and breaks and stuff. But I'm glad I didn't have to just hand roll all of that. So let's see. Yeah, I'm going to give myself more than what I think I'll need. And we do have, I think, a full-length tutorial on this subject. So I'm going to take 2 noodles of extruded clay, fold it over to the halfway point, and I'm just going to take that and set it, and I'm smushing it together with my thumb so that we can bring them into parallel. Do you see how that's happening there? Ah, thank you, Aisha. Okay. So, oh, why am I doing this with 4? You can do it with 4, you can do it with 3, you can do it with 5, whatever you think you can braid with. I'm just gonna pinch one off with my fingernail. So now we have 3. This will be great. And I like to let it hang down the front of my desk. And let's see if we can't flip this camera around. And I'm going to see if we can't get a really good close-in view of what's happening here. Nope, that's the wrong way on the tripod. All right, so here we are. This is our clay. Tina says a napkin ring might work better for your stand. And I'm just going to set this like across like that. And then I'm going to bring it across like that. Like for the cannonball. And really, like, you could use like a little anvil, whatever you have, whatever you like. So the tighter, the more off to the side we take our strands, the more of a Celtic knot I think it makes the braid look. And so I'm just very carefully bringing that over, like so. And then bringing this over, like so. And I'm just trying to match the angles. So like this line and this line, I want those to be parallel to each other. So let's see. And this is why I like the sphere that's textured like this, is I can kind of, do you see how this isn't just falling straight down? It's got just enough tooth to it, the cannonball does, that it's holding everything. if you don't have a cannonball, like I think I found this on Amazon, and I use this for in leather working. I shape onto it with my leather and stuff. But I also really love it for this because as we keep going, I can, whoops, oh no, totally booger up my polymer clay. That's all right. I just sat my hand down on it. And so we'll just splice those two pieces back together, carefully rolling and shaping with our finger. Ooh, walk in the rain. Hey, it says FYI, Amazon has walnut hollow extruder, $39.95, just so you know. Wow. And that's the crank style one and everything? Well, that makes me so happy. I should get another just so I've got a backup. Hey, Randy. Could you hand me that glow-in-the-dark one that's under the orb over there? So this is one that we had made with some Cos clay, which you can see how super duper flexible this is. And we actually keep a quartz crystal sphere on top of it. But it's just a nice little like glow in the dark braid. Thank you, honey. And so, I don't know, maybe I don't need to be so careful about what I'm doing. But I don't think I've ever felt like, you know, what I need is for this to be less tidy. Ooh, Barbie says, speaking of Amazon, do you remove items from your wish list if you no want it or have received it? Typically, yes, but I don't know how to access my Amazon wish list anymore. And I need to remove probably a bunch of stuff just because my interests have changed. And I think, actually, though, I think it's up to date. I just haven't gotten anything off of it. Like, I haven't purchased anything in, like, a while. But yeah, I was thinking about studying to try to, like, testing out some of the textbooks for a nursing program just to see if I could keep up at all before signing up for the program. But I don't know if I have it in me to be a nurse as a career, and I just would like to know the information, and so I can't justify the expense of the education if I'm not going to go into the field, if that makes sense. And so there may be a lot of like nurse textbooks in my Amazon wish list right now. Hey Vivian, I am feeling a whole lot better. Thank you for asking. I hated to have missed the Moth Market vending event. But it looks like they've already signed for a venue in February and that they plan on doing another event then. So as soon as they get the vendor applications up, I think I'm going to try to apply and give it another go. And that'll be fantastic because then we can still, like, we have the booth all packed up for a 10 by 10 and everything, so. But yeah, they've got one in February and I think one in April in a different town. So I'd love to be able to do both because they're both pretty local to us. So I just keep doing this and then I can shift it around. Oops. Yeah, let's see. I can just, there we go. Isn't that pretty? All that little braid. And so I'm just going to bring that back. So this extruded way more than what I needed, but, you know, I'll take it. Kelly says, I love glow in the dark anything. I'm such a kid. Dude, same. If it can glow or fluoresce, why not? I like it. I like the cannonball. I like it because it stays put. It's very heavy. I like a nice, wide, big base. That way it doesn't... I don't have to worry about this tipping over. In a craft room that is typically precariously perched on the edges of things and piles and such, I like something that doesn't fall over. No, yeah, I don't think I'm going to go to school to be a nurse. I'm very happy. It's whenever I'd like to, you know how to. I'd like I'd like to have the knowledge and the training. I just don't think I'd enjoy the day in day out of it. It was really hard when I took care of my dad, just doing like the urinals and the dialysis bags and the bathing and stuff. So it's a good skill to have. But I think my calling is in playing with polymer clay. So, but no, it's usually whenever I'm worried about finances, I'll be like, oh, I need to go back to school. I need to this, that, or the other. And it's like, maybe I should just trust that there's more to life than money. And that it's okay to just be happy with what I have and to trust that the future will be what it is, whether I worry about it or not. It does. I really do think it does, Elizabeth. Okay, so now we have a nice little bit. I'm going to try to let's go ahead and get to the end of this rope. Go, coming down through here, coming around through there. It's just the repetition of the pattern. And whenever I'm making one and it comes out really messy, I just lean into it and just let it be very organic. Khalidi says, hey Vaughn, I'm a retired nurse, and a few of the nurses I used to work with hang out at the local bead store. I told them we should have t-shirts made that say beads, not body fluids. Right on. A very nurse specific joke, but I dig it. Wow, Rosalie says, I'm a certified nurse's assistant, CNA. Have been for 15 years, and it takes a toll on the body and mind. I love taking care of people. Oh, well, that's good of you. There we are. We're getting close to the end. And it gets easier the closer to the end that I get, because I'm not having all that. I keep wanting to say wire, because this reminds me very much of braiding with wire too. Braiding is braiding once you get down to the core of it. This is, Shelly, this is polymer clay that we've put through like a 2mm extruder. So there's the extruder end cap that you can see there. And we're just coming around through here, bringing these last couple. Now, whenever I've extruded my clay, I do want to make sure that it braids best when it's been freshly extruded. And so this stuff that I've got off to the side, I am going to go ahead and just kind of scooch over a little farther. We may end up needing to re-extrude it though, because I don't think that this right here is going to be enough to do all of the stones that I have prepped. But we'll see. It's certainly fun, if nothing else, getting to just do the braiding. Now I'm going to be taking these stones and setting them in clay to give them this style of edging, so that I can then use them in a polymer clay, not polymer clay, a dragon head sculpture. These are going to be the fossils and gemstones set into the forehead of a dragon head piece that I've got in the works. Hey Tigress, how's it going? Says, yay, I just got here. What you making? How are you today? I'm doing pretty well. I'm doing really well, actually. Thank you for asking. And so, just go, boop. That seems as good of a spot as any to stop. So now let's go ahead and I'm going to angle that down just a little. I'm going to zoom it out just a smidge. I'm going to set that off to the side. I'm going to break off a hunk of clay and roll it through on the, oh, thank you, Khalidi. It's, you know, I could just stick it to the edge of my work surface, but the hard edge here would bite into the clay, and I like being able to just kind of like tilt it a little. I don't know, I liked it. Oh, Liz says, how long does it take for the clay to dry? Now, the clay that I'm using right now is a polymer clay, so it doesn't cure until we've baked it. So I can work with this all day. I'm gonna need a little bit more clay. You know, and then, so it might stiffen up, but, you know, from just being cold, because it's like cold in the house right now. But the nice thing about polymer clay is that it, you know, in the sense of clay drying, it doesn't dry. So I've also heard it called plasticine and like modeling clay, but the brand that I like that I'm using today is Primo Sculpey, and this is their old logo. So I just bought some from Hobby Lobby, and that's their new logo. I like their old logo better. Like, that's my favorite. I wish they would bring that back. just because I don't understand. But also, oh my God, you guys, it used to be, because some of my bags still have the tags on them. So let's see. Because I had like literal proof that my polymer clay, yeah, used to be $2.69 a block. And normally I try to not like bitch and moan about this kind of stuff, but it's gone up by like what, 90 cents? Boo. Boo. It's fine. I'll deal. So oh, in this stuff, it says to bake at 275 degrees Fahrenheit or 130 Celsius for 30 minutes per quarter inch. Normally I like to just buy it directly from Sculpey.com. I would love to be able to purchase enough from them to become like a distributor or something so I can get wholesale prices. But I just haven't been, haven't gotten there yet. I'm going to go ahead and sculpt on a tile.
Let me know when you want me to preheat the oven.
If you want to go ahead and preheat it, that'd be great.
275?
275, please, baby. Thank you. But here lately, I just get it on an impulse whenever we're at like Hobby Lobby, because that's our local option. Though I don't know, it's been a long time since I've been to our local Michael's. We'll have to see if they've improved their selection at all. So I'm just smushing this down. And I'm going to come through and grab just a little craft knife. And I want to come around and give myself maybe 1/8 of an inch of a border. Of clay. I can always remove more. In worst case scenario, I can always just run the clay back through the pasta machine if something goes horribly wrong. We can just roll it out flat again and everything will be fine. And now from here, I'm going to take, where'd my bottle of stuff go? Did I not have like a gooey bottle of this around somewhere? Haha, there you are. Yeah. I'm waiting on using this bottle until I've used up this bottle because this one's all yucky. Did you get your clay on sale? Some weeks Hobby Lobby has clay on sale 30% off. I think I did, but still. We've all got our things that, you know, a person's entitled to get grumpy about, and I get grumpy about when craft supplies go up. But it is always nice to be able to catch it on sale. So I'm just using a little, what are these called? One of these things. Not a trowel. Poor Z-Dog. So this is a liquid polymer clay. That's like super, well, I guess, okay, I shouldn't just be using the stuff that I've scraped off the outside of the bottle. Palette knife. Oh, thank you, Liz. Okay. So I'm just going to squeeze up from bloop. Yeah, that's more the consistency that I'm looking for. Oh yeah, definitely. Tigress says, using the braid on this stone is a great way to cover that spot on the edge of the stone. It's great to find ways to create beauty from something otherwise undesirable. Yes, 100%. And so much of like my personal stash is gemstones and things, like my personal stash of cabochons that I pull from to do things like this, is the things that you will like get some, like a bulk box of gemstones at a gem and mineral show. You know, and I come home and I go through it, and all of the flawed or damaged or less than perfect that I wouldn't be putting up on my website, I save for myself to use in my own work. Because I don't mind a bit if it's got a little bit of something going on there on the edge. Those are just birthmarks and freckles. And but some people would, like, if I sent a cab like this in one of our craft along kits, we've had some folks who would just straight up lay an egg. They'd be like, what is this garbage? And I'm like, I'm sorry that you're a perfectionist and I'm not. Which is nothing wrong with being a perfectionist, but I try to not inflict it on people whenever I'm in a perfectionist mood. So I'm just coming through in the most cumbersome way possible. There we go. And I'm just laying down some liquid polymer clay. There we go. I don't need to be so stingy with it, I guess. I love the natural stones, the way prettier than perfect, more earthy. Right on. Now, I mean, I won't turn my nose up at perfect either, but those are the ones that we send out in our kits or put on the website. There we go. Getting a nice little bit of okay. Sometimes we just gotta be bold and go for it. And risk making a little bit of a mess. Is Mr. Puddums in the house?
Yes.
Oh, Mr. Puddums. Is he eating Z's dog food?
Shouldn't be.
Okay.
No, he's eating his.
Okay, excellent. So I'm just getting it kind of packed in around there. Now this is experimental to me. I've not done this much liquid polymer clay before. And if it were a project that were going to be sitting out like overnight, oh my gosh, I would not. Because I would bet money that it would just drip everywhere. But since we're going to be putting this like directly into the oven that's being preheated, that's the important part to me, is that I want to make sure, ovens to temperature, that the oven's preheated, because my oven, especially our old oven, would really crank up the heat to get itself up to temperature, so I would completely scorch my projects. I'm not going to worry too much about getting it perfect, but we can just come through and scrape off some extra. And the nice thing about the liquid Sculpey is it does clean really nicely off the stones even after it's been baked. So we have that. Rosalie says, I use a small paintbrush for my liquid clay. Never thought about a palette knife. I'm going to have to try that. Right on. I like that it's not porous, so it cleans up relatively nicely. Okay, we have a craft knife. Let's see what we can accomplish here. And so I'm just going to set this on that edge. Keeping a paper towel on hand because it is going to get on me. Oh boy. And so now we may come to find, set that off to the edge. I've trimmed off our end here, And I don't know if I want to just bend or if I want to do like a nice right angle. I think I'm just going to cut. Those three. Okay. And then I'm going to come back around. And I kind of wish I had cut more sharply so that we had a nice clean break there. But where I cut from this end, we're going to come back around and I'm just going to try to line these up. If I could trick the clay into just fusing with itself, I would totally do that. But that's all right. And then from here, you could take a little... Randy got me a new set of silicone sculpting tools, and I love them. Let's see if we can bring this light a little closer. And now, I don't think I'm going to be able to get like a perfect joining, but we can at the very least get it look like it's on purpose. So there's that end. Hey Oz. Oh, Oz Developer says how to create a channel like this and then what to do to earn. Any advice, please? Oh boy. That's a really good question. And I'm open to any suggestions. YouTube's changed a lot since we posted our first video back in 2012. But some of the things that have remained consistent through the adpocalypses, through the algorithms, through this, that, and the other, is to start a channel, do something that you're interested in, and just be consistent in your effort. That sounds so generic, but truly it's, the best success that we've had here on the channel was just whenever I was learning new things that were interesting to me and then kind of more or less vlogging it. And then as far as earning potential goes, we've gotten to a point where we can no longer rely on our YouTube income. Like that's kind of, used to, that was, how we were paying bills. But, and we have a Patreon and stuff, and we have, I view our income like a multi-legged beast. And used to, whenever, it's, if we've got the two legs that we stand on, this is a person, these are the two legs. And if, we were doing YouTube videos and we were vending, those were our two main sources of income. But then we added in a third leg that we also had a Patreon. And that morphed into, the Patreons kind of become more of the YouTube channel membership. So, sorry, we're just changing subjects real quick here to talk about this, because if I can be helpful to you, I'd love to be. So YouTube channel memberships, those are like, it's like $1.99. So it's a great way that we don't have to ship anything, and y'all and folks who want to can support the channel, but it's not like very expensive. And then what was our Patreon morphed into, we do our craft along club, where we send monthly kits. So, instead of just having vending, which was traveling around to different conventions and arts and crafts shows to sell our wares in person, and being on YouTube, now it's we were on YouTube, we were vending, we had our Patreon, we had channel memberships, and then it got to where we were also being like Amazon affiliates, so we would link stuff. What was that? It was that all the different things we were doing?
I think so.
I think that was it. And then we had like some different teaching events and stuff where we would go as guests to conventions and teach and things, but that wasn't really like an earning things. It was just so whatever you feel like you can accomplish. Like some folks do very well on their YouTube channels just by selling through YouTube t-shirts and mugs. Like, you know, it's their logo and it's cute and they've got a good channel, good content. And so hopefully if you get started, you'll just find what you're drawn to. And I bet if you do that and are just consistent with it or try to be, that you'll find yourself being successful. But it's good to have, um, I don't want to be like a fuddy to be like realistic expectations, but I'm glad I went into it with the expectation that I was in this for the joy of it, not for the money. If I were in it for the money, I'd have gotten a real job, just like how everybody in our family told us to. um, but I get to do this for a living, and I love that. Um, but if you have it in your heart to do something creative like this, YouTube is still a really great place, I think, to make that dream happen. And especially, oh my gosh, with things like TikTok and stuff. Now, you may experience, and let me know if you guys have experienced this as well, but it's, you know, you can see people, brand new TikTok channel, brand new YouTube channel, getting famous overnight off of like one viral thing, but that doesn't necessarily equate to earnings. Um, so, you know, it's exposure, but it's not necessarily reliable income. Whereas things like Patreon, where, you know, you might, or your own website, where you may be able to develop a consistent, reliable income, it's very hard to get exposure on those sorts of things. You know, with like paying for ads and SEO and okay, this end's all weird. So, what I like to do when the ends get weird is I'm going to make a little thing to put over it. But yeah, whenever what was I saying? Whenever you have your own website and like let's say you also have like a TikTok or something, YouTube is a nice middle ground to be able to get, if people enjoy what you're posting onto your social media, they can find you on YouTube if what you do is conducive to this format. And then, you know, you might be able to get people to go from YouTube to, if you have a subscription service website that sells like kits or I see a lot of folks who've got great information in the forms of like coaching kits and courses, though sometimes that can feel a little like the modern, you know, multi-level marketing sort of thing. It's like, buy our coaching program and you can get certified to teach Zumba, and it's like, okay, but there's like, I live in a town of 14,000 and we've got like 70 Zumba instructors. So it's a little bit of a saturated market. But, anyways, I hope that makes sense. I hope that answers your question or is helpful somehow. Hey Harmony, how's it going? Oh, Barbie says, have all of October's kits gone out yet? No, we still have 2 more shipping sessions before all of October's kits go out. Ah, Mario Kart time. Have fun, Tigress. That's very helpful. I've been thinking about starting YouTube as well, and no one has explained it this well. Thank you. Right? Well, hopefully it works out for you, because it can be so much work, and it can be it's a real trial sometimes. Like, I don't know, I can only speak to my experience, but it's been really difficult to not just be a full-blown workaholic and to not, you know, I don't know. I don't know how to put it. I'm still figuring it out. So if I can be helpful to you, that'd be fantastic. Pretty much. So I was going to try to make like a little leaf shape, but I think I'm just goobering it up. So I'm just going to stipple this like inner part. And this is adding texture, but it's also smushing it down into the layer underneath it. But yeah, one of the best business skills I think Randy and I have honed over the years is the ability to it's basically just resource management. It's not always about how much money you're making. It's about how much you're saving or spending or investing or things like that to kind of keep the lights on and keep everything going. So it's not just, oh, I just got to make more money. It's like, well, keeping costs down, being resourceful. And I had gotten very bogged into doing the same thing. Because YouTube was, a lot of folks find our channel because of wire wrapping. And so I got really pigeonholed, probably in my own mind. I'm not going to blame YouTube because I let this happen. But I pigeonholed myself into making almost exclusively wire wrapping content there for a little while. And then that really fell apart for me whenever I hurt my hand. Now, this was in 2023 at this point, and fortunately, I am fully recovered. I just am making fresh problems for myself in other ways. So, um, it's always something, but that's all right because I'm here for it. But I didn't want to get pigeonholed into just being a wire wrapper because I'm not just a wire wrapper. I also enjoy sculpture. I also enjoy, gosh, I don't even know what else I enjoy because I've been doing just wire wrapping for so long. But we'll figure it out. We'll get there. Okay, I'm looking for a slightly larger. There we go. So we had a goofy looking end, so I just put a little shape over it and put some. The magic happens in the layers, in the details, and in the layers. So I think that one's good to go. So there's one. And we've got just a little bit of the braid. So how would we do this around? Yeah, I'm really going to need to build up. This is a very thick ammonite. It's got a little bit of the polishing compound. Like, things that I'm interested in at this moment that are not wire wrapping and are not what I immediately have in my hands, because this is interesting to me too, are lost wax casting, copper smithing, and there was another one. Lapidary. Oh, oof. Yeah, so like if I won the lottery, that would be the top 3 things that I would spend money on. Um and it's just, I don't know, I hadn't really had the time to learn a new craft, or and then once we get the time, sometimes we don't always have the money to invest in the new craft, but I love learning new things. Okay, so seeing as we have 2 halves, let me zoom back out just a little bit. I want to make these symmetrical if I can, as much as possible. Ooh, Rosalie says, I do a lot. Paint, resin, polymer clay, crochet, and anything else crafty. I don't want to just have focus on one thing. My brain doesn't work that way. Right on. Well, it sounds like you'll do great. And nowadays, I mean, even just basic phones, you don't have to have a fancy phone, but just having the camera on it, you can record videos and shorts and just all sorts of, it's a fantastic way of connecting with other people. Like, y'all, okay, whenever I first got on the internet as a wee teenager, like it was Yahoo Messenger was like the most advanced, like, wow. And it was so cool to be able to connect with and interact with people anywhere on the earth from all these different walks of life. And so that just that we get to do this now, like, shout out, we've got 63 people hanging out in chat. Hey everybody. And I did not even have to leave my home to get to come and connect with you. So, and I live in southwestern Missouri. So if you're inclined, y'all can shout out even just like what country or state that you're from. And it's just so cool that all of us get to be here shooting the wind, just hanging out in our own respective craft rooms. So I think I'm going to use this cutter. And we get to connect over crafting. Like that's cool to me. That's really cool to me. Washington State, says Rosalie. Right on. I've never been to Washington State. What's it like there right now? Like the weather and stuff. So yeah, I'm just gonna do Oregon. Okay. I've never been to Oregon either. Rainy. Nice. Okay. So I'm going to set this one off to the side so that I don't risk messing up what I had just worked on. And now also, just to take a look at this, here from the side, I'm not worried about that being goopy and weird because this is getting set in freeform air. Yeah, all that weirdness on the side, not even worried about it because it's going to be set and submerged. If I were like in another clay, if I were working on something for jewelry, the way that I did that is I baked it and then I added on a whole nother layer onto the back that I then drug up and smushed into the front. But I just wanted to make sure that this braided portion was baked and cured and there wasn't a risk of me leaving like a fingernail indent or disrupting or distorting the piece whenever I added on that back that I then also used as stamp. Probably one of my favorite polymer clay artists is Jessima Tutorials. I hope I pronounced that correctly. So I'm just going to set that one in just a bit. You know, actually, I'm just going to build it up and smush it around. There are two Washingtons, Western Pacific Northwest and Eastern Farming and Fruit. I'm in Western Washington. Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, those are two completely different climates, aren't they? Waiting for a storm with snow to come in this weekend. Oh, hey, Brooke, how's it going? Kalidi says we can all be comfy in our PJs crafting with Vaughn. Yeah, Walla Walla, Washington here. Hey, Dancing Tree, be sure to like this stream to support Vaughn. Oh, I appreciate you. So for this one, just to give it a little bit more, I don't know. I felt like doing this, so I'm doing this now. I'm just shaping. I want to make sure I don't have any air bubbles trapped in underneath our ammonite. Is Mr. Pudd'em still in the house?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It sounded like he was digging in the litter box.
No.
No? Is the washer going? Oh, okay. Oh, we're doing really well, Brooke. How are you? Vancouver? Okay. But yeah, when we started our business, we lived in like southern Tennessee, just right over the state line from Huntsville, Alabama, which really was a fantastic location because within like 17 hours of driving, we could be up in the Northeast or we could be down in Florida. But then life led us here to southwestern Missouri. And I was like, oh, we'll be in the Midwest. We'll have so much more access to like going out to West Coast. And I didn't realize that it was still another like 30 freaking hours of driving just about it. But I do miss being in Tennessee, but we still get to travel and stuff, even here in Missouri. Harmony says, It's 66 degrees here with cloud coverage, but it's warm to me. Everyone here is bundled up, but I'm barefoot in shorts. I spent many years in northern Idaho. Gotcha. Okay. Idaho's like real cold. Like they get the genuine cold up there. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, so now that we have this clay here on the edge of glory. Oh, are you really, Lydia? I bet I'm hearing the crock pot boil. Oh. Aw, Mr. Puddums. He's such a sweetie. He's a good boy. Hmm? He's alright, says Randy. We may have accidentally stolen another one of our neighbor's cats. Harmony, I had gotten these ammonite pieces in a bulk box at a gem and mineral show. And I think we had paid like, gosh, I think it might have been like $300 for the whole box of like just a bunch of them. Not all of them came out this nice. But it was pretty nice. This was back whenever the business was a little more booming, but that's okay. We stock up when we can so that when we can't, we're stocked up. If that makes sense. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. What I'm gonna do here is I want to make like a nice thick like support snake. They are not drilled. So here we are making a snake. A snake. Snaky snake. Oops. And I'm thinking we're going to have it be about 1/4 of an inch thick. Yes. There we go. And a bloop cutting through that. Wow, 85 in Florida. Nice. It's not like raining alligators or anything. It's been a long time since I've been to Florida. But yeah, if I were a lapidary artist, I would love to be able to shave down the backs of these to make them just a little thinner for use in wire wrapping. Like I make my own fused glass cabochons, but we've got a whole bin of like dud glass that like it got scuzzy or had something like a bit of dirt or something fell into it, and so it's just not quite good enough to send out in the kits. And I'm really excited to hopefully one day get into being able to do lapidary work, because I'd love to turn our glass cabochons that we just puddle in the kiln into like properly domed cabochons. And so now I'm just coming through, adding some texture. To the sides with a ball stylus. Because again, the magic happens in the details. And we could use some different sizes. oh, I'm trying to think of the artist's name. I follow on Instagram, Shelly Sullivan Jewelry. And oh my gosh, she just cut some a beautiful cab off of, I can't remember the name of the stone, but it just looked like almost like a Mokomagane metallic with the way that the strata was in the stone. It was so pretty. But she's got a cab king, the kind of lapidary equipment that I've had my eye on. But the thing is I don't even know even if I had the money for it, even if I knew what to do with it, even if I had it, I don't know where in my home I would put it, except for maybe over there. Something maybe to save up for. But I'd like to go to the William Holland School for Lapidary Arts and take some classes there. I think they're in Georgia, before investing in the equipment. But I'd be dishonest if I didn't speak about the fear that I feel of, I'm afraid I've reached the stage in my career where my body is going to be dictating what I do to me, what I do. It's going to be dictating to me what I do more than my passion or creativity is, just based off of what's hurting that day or what. So, but I'm trying to not live in fear of the pain. But some days it kind of hurts to exist. And I'm hoping that I can keep, with diligent, patience and exercise, recondition myself back into not being in pain. It's very nice to remember, to be experiencing, I'm not in the same pain that I used to be. Dancing Tree says, I can see you shaping rocks into caps. I'm having fun with my lap machine. If I can, I know you can too. Oh, Dancing Tree, that's fantastic. Are you really, are you having fun with it? Yeah, the ball stylus comes in super handy. Super duper handy. So I kind of like that on these stones, whenever I lift it, you'll be able to see there's a little pocket in the back that's going to be where the hot glue goes. Whenever I adhere this, and once it's been baked, to the sculpture. Which, if you're interested in seeing more of our dragon head sculptures, I will be live streaming them on our Craft Along with Vaughn channel in the horizontal over there, quite possibly, as well as on our Back to Earth Creations Kick channel. And so you'll be able to get to see these be utilized that way. But everything that we live stream, for the most part, we will be making video recaps of. So if live streams aren't really your thing, we'll be having, or if you miss one, or just whatever, we'll have the video productions as well. And so now we can take this clay braid. I'm going to go ahead and adhere, and let me see if I can just use the tip applicator. Whoopsie. Well, there we go. That worked much better than I anticipated. Oop. Well, that's fantastic if that's tonight's dinner bubbling in the crock pot that I'm hearing, honey.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to come through with our palette knife. And I've done lots of pieces where I've not used the liquid polymer clay and it still held together just fine. I just like the extra little bit of certainty that this is going to be like on there. Oh, well, hey, Hawk, how's it going? It needs set up where it's okay to be wet and dusty. Nice. I was honestly thinking about well, I don't want to say it out loud because I don't want to stress my husband out, but we've got this like closet that I think it would be really cool to be able to tile up into sort of a wet room. And then we could just do our lapidary work in there. He's shaking his head no. Why no? Or we could do it in the upstairs bathroom. I could just sit in the bathtub and do lapidary. Maybe, he says. All right on, Hawk. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I like to keep an open mind to the possibility of doom. Okay, so I'm just going to press down carefully. And I'm not going to super stress about these being like perfectly lined up. I'm just going to put a cute little bloop over it. Oh my goodness, I'm not even in frame. I'm so sorry, you guys. I was doing good staying in frame today. At least I thought. Pretty happy with that. But now I'm going to have to do a whole nother braid. Let's see what we can do real quick. All right. Okay, so we're going to take our clay that we extruded. My fingers are so cold. I'm going to press that down. We're going to take another bit that we had extruded. Oh, what a long noodle. I love that. I'm just going to zoom out. Just enough. There we go. Hey, Latney, how's it going? Oh, hey, Mama Kay. Did you get the newsletter that we email out? Okay, so I'm just going to cut that one off there. Alright, so now that we have that lined up, you can see I've got these just trailing off the edge of my table. I'm going to zoom in just a smidge. And then fold the noodles. So November's craft along kit is going to have some polymer clay in it. And I'm really excited about that because we're going to be doing quite a few more sculpting projects. both in the live streams and hopefully as tutorials on the channel as well. So keep an eye out. We do new tutorials every Thursday. So just bringing that over. I'm not worried about being perfect. You know, I'm doing my best. Mama K says, no, I've signed up for newsletters several times and never received it. Have you checked your spam folder? Because that's also sometimes if we get marked as spam, it'll auto remove your email from our newsletter. And so we've had some folks who had accidentally marked us as spam. And we that's how we found that one out. Saki Girl says, I got your notification on today's live. Oh, nice.
9 minutes, by the way.
Thank you, baby. I'm going to see if I can get this done in 9 minutes. And then my work day is done, which I'm very excited about. I'm kind of stumbling through a self and AI guided workaholic recovery program. And one of the biggest things that's been an actual help has been a hard stop at 6 p.m. I am done with work. I'm not allowed to look at social media on my phone. Like, I go and I do some yoga in the bedroom, and then I treat it like, oh, I'm home now whenever I come back downstairs. And lots of journaling, lots of like intentional behavior tracking, like kind of like a almost cognitive behavioral therapy type stuff. And I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that I'll be able to grow back parts of myself that too many days, too many long hours at the grindstone wore down parts of me that I didn't want to lose. And I'm trying to disentangle. But most things worth doing are challenging, are hard, are difficult. So I have my work cut out for me. Harmony says, perfection is just an illusion. What is perfect to one eye may never be to another eye. Ain't that the truth? Oh my goodness. Like, that is well said. Ooh, Hawk on the Go says, have you any thoughts on where next year's camp along might be? I have no idea right now. But we are open to suggestions. Oh, well, thank you, Liz. It's easier said than done, isn't it? The whole taking care of ourselves thing. So there we go. There's our little braid. I'm going to zoom back out just a little bit. And I'm just going to come right here, cut that loose end off, come around this way, setting that polymer clay right into the liquid clay. And then, oh, we did just enough, didn't we? And then I'm just sort of patting it down. I don't feel like I have to make like super great adhesion because the liquid clay is there. And then we can just scrape away some excess. There we go. And we can even, this says, yes, I get it. I have a farm. Oh, wow. Well, that's cool. Okay, I'm looking for, oh, I like this sharp angled one. Because I can kind of just squeegee. So the silver tone, I don't know if I would get the silver tone liquid Sculpey again. Just, I think I would get like a translucent, but I don't mind it, certainly. All right. Hey, Cindy, how's it going? Hey, Dan's a shadow. Oh, you're great. We're here. We've got just a couple more minutes before I clock out for the day. So I'm going to go and get these put into the oven when the live stream is over. But I'm very pleased with how these have come out. I don't know why. I have a little bit of like a face fever from, I think from the cold. Like, does that ever happen to you that you get so chilled that you like your face gets hot? I don't know. I hope I'm not getting, no, I'm not ill. Am I? I don't know. I'll drink more water. And I'm also going to try to panic clean, quick tidy it all up. We're going to put everything away as quick as we can to tidy up our work surface. Boop, boop, boop. Boogie, boogie, boogie. Getting everything popped on into the bin. Getting that into there. It's like it's a race. Hydrate so you don't dehydrate. And that's pretty great. And we've got all this little mess of clay, which honestly I think looks pretty cool just as it is, like a little brain nugget. That I'm going to put back into its scrap drawer, just like so. And then, y'all, I can't believe it, but my workspace is more or less cleared off with just the four. I'm going to do the same thing again, probably tomorrow. Oh, I missed a little bit of clay. And now my work surface is ready to go. What a treat from present me to future me. So thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me today. If you have any questions or anything, leave a comment down below, or send us an email if I can be helpful to you. Giovanna says, I keep missing your lives as it is late here in Italy. Gotcha. I'm sorry. You may have better luck catching us over on our Craft Along with Vaughn channel, where sometimes I do morning streams. Like, that's where we do all of our impromptu streams. But if nothing else, we will be here once a week on Fridays from 4 to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time to do our craft room hangouts like this. And I do really I enjoy getting to hang out with y'all. So thank you for being here. Oh, Colady says, thanks for sharing your magic. I feel like such a frumpy, grumpy potato sometimes, so thank you all for being so kind. Y'all certainly do inspire me to be a better version of myself if I can manage it. But I was caught up in some true crime court cases. Oh, Cindy, those will get you. But yeah, I will see y'all in our next video. And until then, happy crafting. Mwah. Bye.